Hey guys, before the video starts, I just want to let you know that all three of my books, Powerless Book 1 Potential, Powerless Book 2 Imagination, and Powerless Book 3 The Academy, are all on sale now at Amazon.com. If you want more, please message me on Instagram or Facebook, Powerlessbybr, and I can get a signed copy shipped out to you. Now, enjoy the video.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
everybody, welcome to Powerless Discussions Episode 3. Today we have, let's see, the videos will be reversed. So we have Maya. Say what's up, girl. We got Jay.
What's good?
We got Jarrell.
Baby.
We got BB.
Hi.
And then we got Amber,
Hello.
stuffing her face like every show.
Whatever. Don't judge me.
Hey, look, what she eating look really good right now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know what she eat, but
I want some.
Ice cream.
Oh, I definitely want some now. Diabetes.
All right, y'all. So today's topic,
Diabetes.
we have a expert on it here with us
The
today.
hell is the expert?
We're going to be talking about how you feel about interracial dating.
Is it how you feel or is it the pros and cons?
Pros and cons and how you feel about it. So we will start with the master himself, Jay.
What do you mean how I feel? What?
Pros and cons, things that you've had to deal with.
A lot. A fucking lot. Like, you have no goddamn idea. A lot.
Explain, sir. That's the
language barrier is the biggest fucking thing, first of all. Even though she speaks English, it's like the terminology. Like I said, one of the things is it's hard for me to search for little words. I naturally use bigger words. So sometimes when we talk to each other, the terminology and the body language get thrown off. Like, so in Japan, it is a cultural thing for the wife to feed her husband. They eat the way they eat meals, they eat them in sections. That makes one giant meal. So when we first started living together and I asked her to make me lunch, she made me dinner. That's how much fucking food she put in that plate. And when I asked her, like, literally, I was like, look, babe, I need you to kind of tone down on the amount of food you're putting in my plates. It's a lot of calories. I don't need all that calories for a lunchtime meal. I just need you to kind of cut back so it doesn't affect me badly. Her response to that was, you blame me for making you fat. Literally. Dead ass response to it. Just looked at me and said that. So the biggest problem with that is it's basically the language barrier between the two. On top of that, you have to understand the difference in culture. Like I said the last episode, if you are not going to invest in a person's culture that you're about to marry them, then you probably should not marry them. Because there are cultural differences, and they're like we spoke earlier today. There's a lot of things I do with her that I would never normally do. Like when we're in Japan, she loves to, especially when we go to visit Japan, she loves to go visit the shrine. She loves to go walk through the goddamn mountains for a whole damn day, just to go visit certain things she likes, and that's part of the culture. Eating dinner together is part of the culture. Like we sit down, we eat dinner together, turn off the TV. It's part of the culture. Spending time doing things. It's little things that you kind of like you take for granted that they hold on to greatly. The biggest thing that's part of her culture is taking your goddamn shoes off when you walk in the house. So it's.
I'm saying she can get these crocodiles on the floor if she wants. I mean, I'm fine with that.
She will slap the hell out of you walking the shoes in her house on, man. That is the biggest way to piss her off. I still do it sometimes too, like when I'm in a rush to go to work, and I'll just take the ass chewing. I'll just take the ass chewing. But that's the cons. It's just once you get past the language barriers and the different ways of understanding, relationships are different to them versus us. But once you get past that, it's actually, I think a lot of interracial relationship brings, especially when it comes to like different cultures, brings a different understanding outside of your expectations of what you really are looking for. And honestly and truly, to be fair, the way she is, it makes me a better person. Like because everything has to be in order with her, especially because that's just the way she is as a Japanese woman. Everything has to be in order. Everything has to be like she is OCD clean. And I mean everything has to be within order. She beats me up on everything, and I mean everything. Things that I just like, I get nagged. She nags me on stuff that I just normally do anyway, but she always nags me. Like if I come home from the gym, I'm dead serious. I come like this is a normal day. Come home from the gym, sit down, take my shoes off. Before I even get from the foyer, wash your hands. Did you work out today? Yes. Take a shower. I'm going to do that anyway. I know. Just do it. Seriously. she'll look at me and be like, "You need a haircut. You need to cut your mustache. You need to trim it." But the thing about it is the pros for like I guess in that situation is in a traditional Japanese relationship. This comes from her. Partners work together to look after each other. So she knows what my job is. She knows that one of the parts of my job is maintaining appearances. So she's always in the corner of my ear reminding me to keep my appearance up to date. Stuff that you normally don't look for. It also helps that like, and as I get older, I become forgetful for certain things. Like if I have to go up for my physical readiness test tomorrow, I'll probably come in. I've been busy. I'm tired. I want to sit down. I want to get to the office, get some business done. I'll probably forget to wash my uniform. She's already washed it.
Well, I can see how that is a partnership, but
We
like,
work together.
do y'all feel like certain races are more closely knitted to each other in terms of like upbringing and stuff like that? Like a lot of people say that Mexicans and Black people get along better because their cultures are so similar in a way.
I believe it.
It just depends. I think there's different nuances in culture. Like, I mean, if you meet someone from North Mexico and someone from South Mexico, they're not going to have the exact same, I think just geographical location can play a part too.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I think Jarrell brought that up yesterday. Like, well, it wasn't even on the show. He was talking about like a lot of the girls that went to school with us, as opposed to like when we went to college and saw like girls from different states and stuff like that, how it seemed like completely different people, because when you grow up seeing one type of person, it locks you into that type, like this is how that person is. And then you see different people and it just expands that and you just become curious.
You have to be open-minded and in an interracial relationship, man. You have to understand nuances. Because I put it like this. I say I'm blessed with my career because it has allowed me to travel to different countries. But it's one thing I've learned is you cannot take an American approach to everything you see. And I mean, like,
facts.
I look at like my relationship with my wife as the one experience that worked. But multiple girlfriends I've had in Japan, like I said, the African girlfriend, there are different things where I have said something and they've taken it seriously out of context and it wasn't intended that way. I had one Japanese girlfriend literally break up with me because I put on my Facebook page, married to my business. She saw married to Bizine and thought that was a fucking person. Literally left me. Even after I explained that whole thing, she was like, "No, I leave you now."
Y'all playing around? Y'all playing around? Y'all playing around? But that's a good ass name for my daughter.
Business? Really? Business?
You can't handle the business, okay? Like that's gonna be her brand. I'm trying to brand her like.
No sense.
And, so I had like, so one of the other things I do is every girl I used to date, I will always, especially in the military, I will always get an STD check every like 6 months, and I always kept it with me. So one of my requirements for dating a woman is I needed to see it was clean. I needed an STD check before we did anything. So one of the African girls I used to date, she was from Ethiopia. When I asked her this, bro, it was the biggest insult in her life. I'm serious. You would think I called her a whore outright to her face. That's how she felt. And I was like, well, I just want to make sure I'm protecting. And she saw it as something else completely. She was like, oh, you asked me that because I'm from Africa? No, I ask everybody that. It has nothing to do about where you from. It's protecting myself. I was like, look, here's mine. And it took me to run to my room, show her my papers, like, this is mine. I'm clean. See, I said, I just want to have this honesty. You know I got nothing. I know you got nothing. And she was mad at me for like a whole 2 weeks. It was just mad. She's like, still was like, I couldn't believe you fucking asked me to go get an STD check. It was like, do you not want to be protected? It's like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, I've made mistakes. I mean, I had one Japanese girl, I used to joke with her, I called her big head one day. I was like, all right, big head, and she was like, took it as a full-on insult. So you have you have to understand like certain nuances of what you're dealing with and what you're like. With some of the Filipino women I dated, a lot of Filipino women are extremely religious. I had a toy gun one day, and I was playing with the toy gun, and she was afraid. She was like, "Okay, that kind of person. I have no idea what you're talking about. What do you mean?" I'm like, she's like, "You're into violence. It's a toy gun." She's like, "Yeah, but it still represents something dangerous."
Technically, everything in the world can represent something dangerous.
I'm not gonna lie. Hindsight 2020, I feel like I dodged tons of bullets on these situations because they revealed themselves early.
Yeah.
But
I remember one situation. I was the only white girl I ever dated. The main issue with her was she accepted the culture a little too well. Like her main thing was.
So what you're saying is she was
be
suspect to drop the N-word eventually.
She wanted to say it so bad.
I'm so glad I didn't meet her.
She wanted to say
God, that motherfucker.
She'd be one of those ones that be like, why can't I say it?
Right.
The conversation was, if I'm dating you, it should be okay for me to be a part of your culture and your world. And I was like, there's things in my world not even I want to be a part of. So I'm pretty sure you shouldn't want all of it. Like, I mean, it literally was the reason we broke up. It haunted her. Haunted her.
Like for that to be her main concern out of everything, it speaks wonders, dude. I'm sorry. If we friends and the first thing you say to me as a friend is like, why can't I use the N-word? Why do you want to? Or like that one clip, say it. Just say it. Go ahead, say it.
Oh,
because they say it when you're not around. They just want to make sure they slip up and say it.
Listen,
get mad.
you show me a white person that's never said nigga, and I'll show you a 2-year-old. All right. We understand everybody's gonna say it. I mean, it's common courtesy not to say things disrespectful in front of certain people. And you would think in a relationship, you shouldn't, want to disrespect your partner. Now, that even comes into terms that if you have kids, how about your kids? Because they're mixed. So.
Super psych. Oh, if y'all would have had kids, she definitely would have felt like I could have it. I got every right.
Oh, bruh.
Oh my God! I just saw a tweet about this like 2 days ago.
Huh?
Say that.
But I had an English teacher like that back in high school, white lady, and I forgot what we were talking about exactly, and she said the N-word in class, and nobody said anything about it. Mind you, this is in not California, this is in North Carolina, where I'm in right now. So I stopped her, and I'm like, are you even supposed to say that? And she was like, well, my husband's Black, and that means I get a pass, don't I? And I was the only one who had a problem with it.
Your husband can get
there were other Black kids in the class, and they were like, it's just a word. And I was like, oh my God, who raised y'all?
All of them can get stole on. All right?
All of them.
All of them.
I haven't heard that phrase in a long time.
You and your husband.
Right.
I don't
think we're up.
I think people who think like that should be the ones that feel most offended when they hear the word.
Yes.
Because you should automatically see the struggles that we go through being that you're white, we're Black, if we're going to use those two races. But if you're going to be with those people, like why should that be the first topic if we, so you're an interracial couple and let's talk about the words we can and cannot say.
Because they just want cool points.
Right.
I wouldn't even say it's cool points. I think it's a mentality of inclusion, or I would like to say an mentality of cultural inclusion. Because let's not pretend that everything we fucking did, somewhere down the fucking line, white person came behind trying to do the same fucking thing, and always asking the same question of why can't they be a part of it?
Yeah, they do that now.
There's a reason the term we call it culture vote. Culture vote.
Because when we do it, it's ghetto and ratchet, but when they do it, it's cool.
Okay, facts. So, and I said this to other Jay. He's not here at the moment. Me and him got into a whole argument one time.
Where's other Jay?
Don't worry about other Jay. Other Jay is having his
technical difficulties.
Spa moment.
Yeah,
we call it a spa moment.
go.
And
Perfect.
I was like, I remember when twerking first became a trend on YouTube. And I hate myself sometimes because I'm an addicted person. And I scroll through the comments and I just see ghetto, ratchet, hood rat, nasty. They look like monkeys. So much racist fucking comments. But now he showed me this video of this white girl named Nas who twerks. And it's like, oh, it's such a beautiful art. Oh, girl, you're so talented. And I was like, that pisses me the fuck off. And he's like, why? I said, because I remember when this started becoming a trend, it was only black women really doing it. Black women and Hispanic women doing this. They was monkeys. They was ghetto. It was a hood rat. It wasn't a real dance. It was nasty. Now you got all these other cultures trying to perpetuate the same thing. It's a fucking beautiful art style. It's a dance move. It's talent. I was like, I tell people all the time, they be like, well, how do you know it's racism? If I can draw the same line and point out the differences in attitude, and the only difference between those same lines is the color of the skin, it's racism.
Yeah.
If you were doing the same exact thing someone else is doing. Talk to me.
Just don't say it in front of me.
Ladies and gentlemen, BB.
That motherfucker like Missy Elliott, dude.
I mean, because they get on my nerve with that. Because the thing, and I'm glad you brought that up. Because the thing that really pissed me off, and I think it was the beginning of last year or late 2018, when Kim Kardashian, and they talked about this for months. It made it to fucking daily news how Kim Kardashian had braids and bamboo earrings, and oh, look at her braids, it's just the newest trend.
And she was fuck out of here, bitch. It's a new trend called boxer braid, bitch.
We've been talking for hundreds of years.
It's been a dance style in places like Ghana, Ethiopia, Nigeria for centuries, millennia, and they be like, "Oh, it's just, it's no." You started.
Oh my gosh, it's just such a nice trend. Who would have thought of this? The Kardashians thought of this. Oh my gosh! Oh, not everybody's just following their trend.
I can't remember the woman who tried to fucking say she invented booth knots. I was like,
wait, Bantu nuts?
Thank you. I was like,
yes, I know who you talk about. I can't remember her name.
I'm sitting here looking at this article, and that's what I think we started inventing the word the caucasity. How dare you?
Yes.
Caucasity. Okay, so let me pose this question to y'all. Well, Jay doesn't have to imagine it. Let's say you're dating someone of a different race. Y'all can pick the race y'all want, and that person says something. Let's say that person says something disrespectful about your people, not you in particular, just about Black people in general. And it's very ignorant, the most ignorant thing you've ever heard. How do you handle that?
It's over.
It's over.
It's over. It's easy to be like, say something bad to your people, but not necessarily to you. Like, if you're gonna badmouth my people, you just badmouth me.
Right.
Yep.
Ooh, can I give an example real quick of something?
Please.
Okay. So, at one point in time, I was actually in the process of trying to date a white boy. Because I heard, you date them white, your credit get right. I wanted to test that theory.
Oh.
So anyway, just joking. But anyway.
We know you're not.
I have never heard that before, but I like it.
So him and I was actually on our third or fourth date, and we was out, and I had my hair in box braids, and it was this female who was wearing her kinky curly afro, which I fucking love. On top of that, but anyway, so we're sitting down eating our little tacos, and he says, "Can I ask you something?"
Ooh,
And
that's always a bad
said,
start.
I said, sure, just randomly, because we had just actually finished talking about our favorite types of drinks. But anyway, he was like, "You keep your hair very nice, and I see you keep it natural. Why do people wear their hair matted together?" And I was like, "What?"
You talking about white people with dreadlocks?
Oh, okay. Well, apparently they don't call them locks or nothing. But anyways, I'm gonna get into that too. So I said, "What are you talking about?" So he proceeds to point to this young lady, and then her boyfriend has locks, and he says, why do people actually say your people, but he said, "Why do your people wear their hair matted?" I got really upset, but I had to realize I was in public and I had want to go to jail that day. So I just simply responded back to, and you got to watch how you say things. And the way I responded to him was, well, a lot of people, I wear my hair natural as well, and their hair isn't matted. She likes to wear her hair kinky curly. I like to wear my hair kinky curly like that too. And he has locks. And I told him, well, depending on what area, some people like to do their hair like that too. But you got some cultures like Rastafarians, Haitians, who wear their hair in locks as an oppression to our European people who came and enslaved us. They will only let us be slaves if and have our hair that way if we kept it nice and neat, like white people keep y'all hair straight and frizzy sometimes. Well, as a rebellion, once the Spanish War and everything started kicking in, they just started letting their hair grow and will only keep it nice and neat, or as you say, unmatted every few months. So depending on where you go to, it could be a form of rebellion, or that's just how they want to wear their hair. And then I asked them, so why do y'all stick y'all hair with gel trying to make it stick up? Why do your people do that? It looked at me, and I just got up and left, and he paid for everything, of course, because I was paying shit. And that was it.
I said that's the stuff I've heard. I mean, but that's the thing. Like, they're taught, a lot of society is taught, and I say society as a whole, because even I've met black people with the same mentality that white is the norm. White is the norm. Like, and it's always white is the norm. Like, you don't hear about, why do they call it black on black crime and not just crime? Why, like, it's always white is the norm. So the way they wear their hair, the way they act, again, talking white or talking ghetto, they create this normality that anything outside of how white act is not normal. And it goes back to, like you said, like the trends we set, it's ratchet until a white person started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
People
this
used to
country was built on racism, so
facts.
It's embedded into the flag. It's embedded into that fucking national anthem, like
full on facts. But like,
I was saying, it even with like accents, because like I told me, Jarrell, even Maya over there, we got our Geechee accent, but
hey, Charleston, stand up.
But like to if you see me speaking Geechee and a white person speaking Geechee, it's still saying the exact same thing. We're still be treated differently. Like, we would be seen as ghetto. They would be seen as what's the term? Exotic.
Yeah, I mean, like
diversified.
You look at like how they look at rap music, and they, if a black person is blasting rap music, it's offensive, it's horrible, and that's not the type of music you play in the social area. But a lot of rappers sales come from white kids in the ghetto, and I mean not white kids in the ghetto, white kids in the suburbs.
Yeah, because they want to be black and they think that's how it feels.
Idiots.
They think that music is like
a representation of us, and it's not.
And honestly, that also extends to the white. I'm not going to say all white women, but the stereotypical white woman fetish of black men.
Bro, okay,
yes.
so
let's bring that up.
Did ask like when I was so when I was in Station, California, I did date a white girl one time, and kind of like you are. I can't explain it. It's it does. I can't tell you. My list of shit that would just make me walk away and leave a conversation and never talk to you again ranges from a lot of patience to petty as fuck. And I cannot explain it, but it's the tone and it's what you say that for me paints an entire picture of like, I see where this is going and I want no part of it. So we went to Red Lobster, of course, Red Lobster. I used to love Red Lobster. We went to Red Lobster, we was eating, and I've always loved to just dress up and when I would go places. So I get the nice tie, put the Windsor knot in it, get a nice little black shirt, tuck it in with some khakis, man. Got the loafers on, man. I'm coming out with the Pandora.
You looking spry.
Oh man, I'm out there like, got the gloss on. It's only $20, but you don't need to know that. Like, walk out. I'm looking fly. I'm like, I'm ready for this. We go out, we eating and stuff, and she's like, "Can I ask you a question?" I'm go, "What's up?" She's like, "Why don't you dress comfortably?" And I looked at her and I'm like, "What do you mean, dress comfortably?" She's like, "Well, you're obviously trying to impress me." And she's like, "I just feel you should dress the way you want to dress. Dress how you feel." She's like, that's comfortable to you. I want you to be yourself." And I'm like, I don't understand. This is myself. This is how I dress. This is a date.
Yo, this Cheddar Bay Biscuits. This is a tie.
I'm like,
this is suit and tie right here.
It's Red Lobster, yo. We come to represent. Like,
I come in for the seafood now.
She's like, well, what I mean is she's like, wearing belts and stuff. And this is literally what she said. She's like, wearing belts and stuff and not sagging isn't really part of your culture. She's like,
what?
Oh my God.
And that one, she was like, be yourself. And I just looked at her and I'm like, we've been together at this point for 3 months. And this kind of goes back to what I said to you earlier when I said, I don't count if it's less than 6 months, I don't consider it a relationship because technically you're still filling that person out because you never know what pops up in that time frame. 6 months is not a lot of time. We've been together for 3 months. I was actually feeling her and I was like, she said that and I was like, and I looked at her and I was like, I'm gonna tell you something real personal. She goes, what? I said, I hate people like you. I despise people like you. I said, people like you who are white, black, Hispanic, who cannot let a person be who they want to be without putting a fucking label of a color on them. I was like, me wearing this shit doesn't make me any fucking less black. I said, in fact, I believe it makes me more black than anything fucking else because when I look at the fucking leaders I idolize, Malcolm X, Dr. fucking King, I was like, look how the hell they dressed. Mm-hmm. I was like, if you want to talk about sagging your fucking pants, do you know the history of sagging your fucking pants? It started in fucking prison. It does not have anything positive about it. And then she looks at me.
Did you throw her in the lobster tank?
Nah. I looked at we sat there for about another 20 minutes because I've already ordered my food and I wanted it.
I just saw that.
And I already wanted it. And
it's the biscuits, man.
The dude came and I was like, the dude came. He was a brother. It was a waiter. I was like, yo, man, can I get a go box? And he looked at me.
There you go.
Like, he looked at me and he was like, ain't working out, bro. I'm like, nah, dog, she tripping. He's like, all right, man, I got you.
He hit you with the Drake fingers.
Bro,
I'll put some extra biscuits in there for you.
He walked away, man. He did that.
I know.
He was like, yo, was she right? I was like, yeah, man, she might right. He's like, yo, here, I get a car for a taxi, man. I got you, dog. You good, man? He walked away. I left, and she just sat there, man. Like, it was like, and it was the worst part. This is where the lesson of I learned, don't shit when you sleep, because we was both in the same military command. So go back to work, and that started. One of the dudes who knew me, man, his name was Thinner. He's like, yo, man, what happened between you and Ashley, dude? He like, she said y'all broke up. Yeah. He goes, why? I said, because she literally fucking told me that I wasn't myself because I wasn't sagging my pants. He like, you do kind of act like a white person. Don't like,
no.
I said, don't get knocked the fuck out right here.
People are getting punched in the face.
Bro,
punched in the face, bro.
You have no, I mean, you've been in the army. They literally have this whole picture painted of us. And then when we don't act the way they think we're supposed to act, it's like the fucking Twilight Zone of them. They do not know how to act. We had a huge command event. We called it Mando Fun. Mando Fun in the military is like basically when they like, you don't have to be here, but you really gotta be. they literally be like, no, you fine. We're gonna let you off of work early. You're gonna come and have fun, okay? So I show up. I show up in like my usual. I dress like that. I show up in like a jeans with like a freaking a button up on, and they like everyone looks at me like, why you dress like that? And you know what makes it worse is from your own people. Your own people be looking at you like, nigga, why you dressed like that? It was like, I hate all of y'all right now. I hate, fuck this shit. Fuck y'all. You cool. Fuck you. I'm out. Like
what I told you yesterday. When they say, "Oh, you dress white," or "You talk that don't talk white," shit was really annoying and it was really ignorant. And I hate our people to be so ignorant because we are so much more than that.
I told you, man, like when you try to talk to them, and they used to always say, man, you sound like a wannabe Dr. King. Okay, you fake Malcolm X. Like, how is that an insult? Like, those were some of our greatest leaders. Why are you using it as a form of an insult? I think that's a compliment. If you saying I'm resembling Dr. King, fuck it, let's go with it, man. I'll roll with it. But like the fact you think throwing that out there is an insult is well beyond me for one. And it's asinine as hell. I don't know, man.
Okay.
Just like racism can be learned, it can be unlearned.
All right. So
I have a hard time believing that.
I saw this interview, and the question was, why are so many Black people dating white people? And the answer that was given was because white people outnumber us 1 to 4 or something like that.
Where?
It was an interview with Dr. It was a Dr. Umar.
Oh, shoot, all up on
it was your boy, Dr. Umar.
I fucking like that bitch.
No, fuck Umar Johnson.
He's not credible.
He's not credible.
Fuck Umar Johnson.
No. He was the one. Let me explain. Let me explain. He was the one. He was the one saying that Black people should only date Black people, and the Black chick was saying the Black chick was saying it's impossible because there's so many more white people than Black people, and there are so many more people who are gay, bi, don't technically want to be in a relationship, don't like men, don't like women.
Brandon, let me just say, if that's the response to that, first of all, that first statement is just stupid. That's a response to that statement. A response. That's just asinine because Black and white ain't the only motherfucking people in this country. I swear to God.
Exactly.
Like, so the point that you like saying that we can only date white people because that's the only credible other choice we have. It's like a whole petri dish of entire other cultures.
I thought the both of them were wrong. I thought the both of them were wrong.
I used to respect Umar Johnson when I was younger, and I went to one of his seminars, and me and my boy was there. We both married to Japanese women, and when this man literally say, if you are a Black man married to a woman who is not Black, you are weak, you are not an alpha male, you are a disgrace to your people. I was like, say less. Left the goddamn audience. Left the fucking auditorium. I was like, say the fuck less. I would not be part of this.
Ignorant shit like that take us back.
I used to respect, man. I used to hold him in the utmost light, man. I would follow his page. I used to always listen to his podcast. He was a leader to me. Then he said that, and I was like, damn. Like, forgive me for falling in love. I'm sorry. Shit.
I kind of get though, like for those people who always say only date inside your race as Black people. I get why they say that. But you can't help who you fall in love with.
You really can't.
What I would penalize is those people who refuse to date. Those Black women or Black men who refuse to date other Black women or women because of whatever negative connotation they have filled in their heads. Because I've met dudes like that who was like, man, I can't date a Black woman, man. They ghetto, they hood rats, they always got an attitude. And it was like, nah, that's just the women you've dealt with, dog. Like
that's really
like that's just the women you've dealt with, dog. Like seriously, like, and I had a friend of that, man. Her last name was Moore. I'm not gonna tell you her first name. We had a conversation. She was like, because she was like, I don't care if a black dude dates outside the race. I just can't stand when a black brother puts down another black woman. And that's the thing. Like how I look at it is like, you have bad experience. That does not give you a legitimate reason to just talk down about the rest of our culture, bro. It really doesn't.
Your mama black, so you talking shit about your mama too. I hate those type of people.
What you dislike is a mentality which you can find in any culture.
Yep.
And I told them, I had to explain this to one person one time, and they was like, this, that, and the ghetto. And I was like, and I told him, I was like, what you dislike is and I told him, I was like, what you dislike is an American mentality. And then he looked. He's like, what do you mean? I said, bro, I'm saying this as a person who's traveled. We are arrogant, ignorant, and just feel like we can't be told shit. That is America. That is the majority of people's mindset, black, white, Asian, Hispanic. We
Fat,
always
happy
feel
people.
like we know everything. Oh, bro, look at this whole quarantine situation. These motherfuckers can stay in the house for 2 days.
Nope.
Losing their fucking minds out here.
I'm agreeing with
Going
Jake.
out and having parties and shit.
Listen,
I'm agreeing with Jake. I feel that shit.
Travel
too.
This quarantine shit is right up my damn alley.
Motherfucker, this is the military.
Stay on base.
I was waiting for my boss to tell me I didn't have to come to work. I was waiting for that shit.
I was just counting down the days, like, don't come in. I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, see, Amber got her order first. Amber got her orders first. I was going to work. Yeah, I can ask Maya. I was going to work I'm waiting.
For a whole 2 weeks.
He was ready. I remember that conversation. He's like, yes, I ain't got to go to work. What y'all doing tomorrow? I'm like, I got to go to work, motherfucker.
Got to get up in the morning.
Y'all know what I did that day I had off?
What?
Went to work.
Not a damn thing. Wait, what? What?
The life of a supervisor.
I can't help it. That's one thing. I cannot help it. Like, there was like, I was getting calls and stuff from work, and my guys were doing random shit, and because I wasn't there, so I was like, these niggas.
Bro, that's your fourth shot you put in that time.
You shut your poor mouth.
People are watching you, sir.
People are watching this.
Shut your poor mouth. Okay? I am not here to be judged by the likes of you.
Not judging, just pointing out the obvious, just in case anybody
just showing you I'm paying attention, man. We're gonna check your alcohol level later.
Yeah.
You shut up.
Have the viewers, tell you if you got a drinking problem or not.
Jarrell,
I don't have a drinking problem.
Have them walk a straight line.
Put a poll in the comments.
We're gonna do it after this review.
Listen, first of all, I don't have a drinking problem. It's only a problem when I stop. That sounded very alcoholic.
That.
Yeah,
That's very alcoholic.
Nah.
I don't have a drinking problem unless he pour a fifth in a cup.
Shut your mouth.
Nah, man, I'm laughing at this whole situation. People are like, man, it's not fair. We being punished for the actions of other people. Welcome to the military. How the hell you think we feel?
Welcome to the military life. God.
Fuck yeah, this is like what you guys experience this whole like somebody got sick. Everybody can't go outside. That's us. One dude fucks up your whole weekend. He had got drunk last week. Well, that's his problem. No, all 600 of you on lockdown.
Damn.
I think my favorite meme from this was one where it was like, oh, when you just get off of house arrest, the government mandates that everybody stay home.
Ooh,
oh, I know that hurt. I know that hurt.
You imagine? I'm free. Get your ass back in the house.
Where you going?
Oh, we got so off topic.
It's fine. I'm keeping us on topic.
It's the point.
I got a list of stuff here. All right.
I'm just
now. These are not my thoughts. I just want to let y'all know these are just random questions I found about the topic.
Sound like a lab.
I do want to talk on something you touched, and I just kind of want to pose a second question to that.
Let me ask this, and then you got it.
All right, go for it.
One race you feel like would be problematic for you to date as a black person.
White people.
White.
That was sad.
Everybody, all right.
I'm not going to say it, but I'm just going to agree with BB.
The whites.
What?
It's sad. It's sad because
Wait.
my
Let me
boyfriend
say
white.
something about this.
We're not trying to get pushed off YouTube for racism before we even get on it.
Let me say something about that. All right, so there was 2 racist incidents I want to bring up that I had to deal with. One was I put up a post about white people wanting to say the N-word, and this white dude that I knew, he never comments on anything. That's how you can tell about
like
racism.
it, huh?
He came out the sewer
like it.
Listen, the comment was, if the blacks want to have their own word, then let them have
I seen that. I did that. I remember seeing that shit, and I was getting ready to go in on this dude.
Listen,
but you already got him, and I was like, you good.
I was like, first of all, I don't like being called the black.
The black.
I don't like being called. That's what we're not.
El Negro.
You're not gonna call us the blacks, because that takes away the fact that we're people. You say black people. If you're gonna even say that, say black people, African Americans, something.
Don't say the blacks.
Don't say the blacks. That's the most ignorant shit I've ever heard. That's worse. I felt so hurt. I felt more hurt than if he would have called me a nigga. For some reason, that hurt way more.
No, you know why? You know why? Because saying the blacks is basically them calling you a nigger, but then trying to say, "Oh, I'm being nice about it to not hurt your feelings." It's basically the same as spitting in your fucking face.
And not saying you're
that brings me to the next.
If I say mayonnaise, I'm wrong though.
Calling me, calling me,
I'm just gonna say, calling me the black is the same as putting fucking raisins in my potato salad. We fighting at that point.
All right. So the second issue was I was going to an anime convention, and me and my black homeboy, were sitting in the back seat. We're getting a ride. We went up as a group. It was 10 of us, 4 people in one car, 6 people in a van. I was riding with the 4 people. 2 white guys up front, my homeboy, and this new dude we just met whose car it is. Me and my homeboy in the back seat. He waits until we get halfway on the interstate, halfway to Columbia, to be like, so how do you guys feel about white people saying nigger? When I tell you, listen, when I tell you, we looked at each other, and I don't know if y'all ever had the black mind meld. Where you see a random black person, and we look,
you don't even know, you couldn't even know the motherfucker. Y'all just look at each other like, you see these motherfuckers?
Listen, 5 gigs of information went back and forth in one glance. It was like, all right, we could knock his head out the window, but this is car. We not gonna make it to Columbia. We paid money for these tickets. Can we get them when we get there? No, we're gonna have to ride back. All right, hold off until we ride back. We went the whole, we didn't even answer the question. My friend answered the question. I just sat there and looked out the window. And he was like, well, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm not calling you guys niggers. I'm just saying, what do you guys feel about black people saying niggers? And the rage of all my ancestors.
He kept saying it.
And it sounded like he kept saying it with the ER on top.
ER, yeah,
he
did.
Like,
he did.
It wasn't A. He didn't say it with the A. He said it with the ER.
He took the time to pronunciate that.
Listen,
he was
hardcore. Listen, he stuck the landing every time.
This is what I'm talking about. That silent rage. That silent rage, because I would have jumped in that back seat. You would have to grab the wheel. I would have been driving like, Brandon, take the wheel. I got
So Nashicon is 3 days. All right, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Sunday evening, we're driving back. We went through the whole con, had fun, hung out together, whatever. We got back. I didn't do it. I was gonna let my rage. I was gonna go do something else to relieve my rage. Got out. All you saw was to the side of his face.
Oh, shit.
That pent up rage. That shit has been building.
His head knocked from this side into the window and back. Damn. And we just ran.
We just ran.
I don't know why we ran. I know black people. You see one black person run, you start running too. I just ran.
They be like, This probably be like, you die in her movies. No, the fuck we won't. I won't even be there. Fuck you, mean?
Bruh, I didn't even see it. I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming at all. And
You
it
ain't
was
see it coming, Brandon.
whole fist.
He did the old yellow trick. Took him outside for some food and shot him with the shotgun. Yo, this man hit it with the 5 fingers.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
It was a Bleach episode. You saw the essence of Dr. King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman,
Man.
smiling over the clouds like Mount Rushmore. Well done.
Y'all know when Avatar sees his previous selves? That was all in when that one slapped.
Oh, that man put a JoJo on him.
He summoned the stand.
Booty. Whoa. Stop.
But